Much like the modern era we are in now, ancient Romans also had a love for fitness and personal wellness that stretched far beyond their elite gladiators and legionaries and into the lives of everyday Romans. But what exactly did that look like some 1800 years ago? And have any of their traditions carried over into our lives? Of course, the Romans were noted for being physically extremely fit, but their dedication to health and overall wellness stretched far past the brute physical activities and into the daily cleanliness and diet of their citizens. And the importance of these factors were very prevalent in Roman society, often being derived from past antiquity, with one example coming from the Greek doctor Hippocrates with his statement, quote, "Let food be thy medicine," something that the Romans took great care in practicing and understood the importance of a balanced diet, hydration, and not drinking too much alcohol. But the Romans also had effective ways at maintaining a clean society, which was most commonly done through the use of public bathhouses, a way for everyday Romans to upkeep their cleanliness and overall health. In larger Roman cities, bath basilicas would occasionally boast sport halls both indoors and outdoors, which encouraged light activity before entering the water. This example from the baths of Caracalla demonstrated what this may have looked like. Likewise, the baths also boast this incredibly preserved mosaic which depicts portraits of some actual Roman athletes. Pretty fascinating that we have a visual of what these fitness gurus looked like so long ago. But for these athletes and everyday Romans, what did these games and fitness activities actually look like? Well, as much of Roman culture was based on conflict, it only makes sense that most of their activities were too, with some of the most popular activities in the empire taking on the form of boxing, wrestling, and ball games. Oh, and side note, believe it or not, when this guy was emperor, sports became more popular. I wonder why. Anyways, sports within the empire were very common and occurred from the most inner cities of the empire to the very outskirts, such as evidence of early boxing gloves being found at Hadrian's Wall. And of course, the Romans also believed that bleeding was a sign of power, therefore most of their combat games only ended when someone gave up or surrendered. But of course, the Romans also knew what was up with more casual games, such as their numerous ball games. These games took on numerous forms and names, so let's take a look at a few of the most popular. The first of which is Trigon, a non-violent game which prioritized coordination. Fittingly, Trigon found 3 players standing in a triangle shape holding one ball in their right hand and one in their left, with the objective of throwing and catching simultaneously. Or Harpsum, a rugby-style game that was played with a smaller leather ball, potentially the same as Trigon, and of course was played in a much violenter fashion. Or Pholus, no, not the currency, but potentially a rather crude form of volleyball that was played with a heavier, inflated leather ball. Many other games existed within the empire as well, but a valid explanation for them, or their rules, have not survived, such as Paganica. Oh, and of course, like modern social media, fitness and health gurus existed within the Roman Empire as well. Take for example, Galen, the Greek physician from the 2nd century AD who lived in Rome and wrote numerous books on health, fitness, anatomy, and philosophy. Too bad they didn't have any Barnes and Nobles yet. Galen was profoundly knowledgeable and produced works that match much of what we practice today, such as The Power of Foods, which discuss the importance of sufficient sleep, fresh air, drinking lots of water, exercise, and of course, a mixed diet. Galen even worked directly with Emperor Marcus Aurelius. The physician also produced many other works that match much of the advice given by personal trainers today, such as his book, The Exercise with the Small Ball, where he discusses the effectiveness of using medicine balls in differing variations, and even advocated for walking and running up hills, something that is heavily recommended by many coaches today. Furthermore, he understood that top-level performers should also be able to perform the basic exercises at a very fast pace and encouraged the mastery of even the most basic exercises. However, these were only some points and exercises of many that Galen advocated for. But of course, the wealthier you were, the more options that opened up, such as visiting a sanctuary for a massage or medical prescriptions, or having personal fitness rooms if you're wealthy enough to own a villa. Evidently, health and wellness within the Roman Empire was quite significant, and was probably better understood than you may have previously thought. Although the Romans were known for their advanced society, the understanding that they harbored of health and wellness is a very impressive feat, and is another part of the empire that is very much worth exploring. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing so you are notified about future videos, and feel free to comment your thoughts on the video or topic below.